This is the account of Walter Russell's illumination, in his own words. In May of 1921, God took me up into a high mountain of inspiration and intense ecstasy. A brilliant flash like lightning severed my bodily sensation from my consciousness, and I found myself freed from my body and wholly in the mind universe of light, which is God. And then God said to me, "Behold thou the unity of all things in light of me, and the seeming separateness of all things in the two lights of my divided thinking. See thou that I, the undivided, unchanging one, am within all divided things, centering them, and I am without all changing things, controlling them." And the secrets of the universe were unfolded to me in their great simplicity, as the doors to the light opened fully to my consciousness. In less time than it takes to put into words, I knew all there was to know of the cause of all effects, for there was very little to know. In that hour it was as though the infinity of complexity within the moving kaleidoscope were suddenly taken apart, and it was shown to me that the entirety of its illusion was but 3 mirrors and a few bits of broken glass. Likewise, the universal kaleidoscope was but moving mirror waves of dual light, extending from their equilibrium in God, from whom all creating things spring in octave electric waves, just as ocean's waves spring from the calm sea. Thus, knowing the static light of God, and the two dynamic lights of his thinking, and the electric processes by means of which his thinking is recorded in matter, I at once had the key to all the sciences, mathematics, chemistry, astronomy, and mechanics. Likewise, all the underlying principles of creation, of life and the healing principle, of continuity in a universe in which there is no death, of energy which is not what man thinks it to be, and of matter which is not substance as man supposes it to be, and of the forces which act upon it, which man has learned how to use somewhat, but knows not the why of that which he uses. And likewise the mystery of the soul was mine to know, and of growth, and the patterns of things in the seeds of things, and the manner of their unfolding, and their repetition and their evolution. And the law was mine to know, the one law, which governs all things, extending from the source through the universal pulse beat which motivates all things. And it was made known to me that I must extend knowledge of this law into all human relations, to help remake the world in its new day which God has planned. For very many days and nights I was made to write down all these things which I knew in the divine Iliad, which is my record of my teachings while in the light. And in that one volume of many thousands of words, there was never an erasure nor correction, and the language of that divine message was not mine. I could never have written such rhythmic essence of knowledge, nor have created its exalted style. Thus I was made to see the universe as a whole, and its simple principle of creation as one unit, repeated over and over, endlessly and without variation, as evidenced in the universal heartbeat, to which every pulsing thing in the light-wave universe is geared to act as one unit of one whole. So simple is the underlying principle of creation that I have been enabled throughout these years to state it in one paragraph and one octave wave diagram so simply that every law or theory ever propounded in the past or future by man can be tested by that paragraph and diagram. If they will not fit into this unitary principle, they are outside of natural law and must be discarded. It will be found that most of even the most fundamental laws and theories of the past and present do not come anywhere near fitting into this underlying principle. They will therefore have to be discarded in favor of immortal truth. And so it happened that I, who had never had any school or university training above the primary grade, thus knew instantly, while in the light, what all the universities in the world could never teach. By this rarest of all experiences ever to happen to any man, it was made known to me just what Jesus meant when he spoke of the light of the world. He meant just that, yet it has been misinterpreted as metaphor or symbol. No greater proof than my experience is needed to prove to the doubting world that all knowledge exists in the mind universe of light, which is God, that all mind is one mind, that men do not have separate minds, and that all knowledge can be obtained from the universal source of all knowledge by becoming one with that source.